I love comments like these, so let's get into it. Yes, I am gatekeeping, and that is because what this listing that you pulled this information from did not tell you is that this property is not intended for individual homeowners, okay? So if you are an FHA buyer or if you are a conventional buyer, you cannot purchase this property, and that is because it will not meet the minimum property standards for those two loans. And in addition to that, it is a probate property, which means even if you were to put in a contract right now to purchase that property, there is no guarantee that you will end up with the property because it has to go to court, and at court it will be taken out, or it can be taken out to anybody who shows up there. So what I usually like to tell people is it's better to wait until that time period comes up, because you don't even know if you'll get a court date within the next 45 to 60 days, sometimes even longer. And so your money is just tied up sitting there and you cannot use it for other properties during that time period. Now, let's say that you decide to wait and go to court to overbid the property. The deposit is not going to be 3.5% or 5.5% or 5%. It is going to be 10%. And it has to be paid as a cashier's check right then and right there. In addition to that, let's say that you end up the successful bidder of the court, no matter whether you decided to put the contract in right now or if you decided to show up to court that day of the overbid. What's going to happen is, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if the house catches on fire. It doesn't matter if your loan doesn't come through. It doesn't matter if an appraisal doesn't add up or whatever. You cannot cancel that transaction, okay? The property is being sold as is, where is, and once that court date passes and it has been confirmed that you will purchase this property in front of a court judge, if you decide to pull out of that, you will lose your 10% deposit. Hands down, you will lose it. I have seen it happen. It happens without fail and with no exceptions. And this is something that I usually like to share with people individually, again, because it's intended for real estate investors and real estate developers. But hey, I'll share it with you right now. That's my whole spiel. And it's also why I love using probates to find fixtures for investors and developers, because a lot of people simply don't want to deal with the whole process. So if you are interested and you're willing to go through the work that's required, let's talk.